Chosen one, I want to start here. Most people will never know what you carry. That is not a complaint about the people in your life. It is a statement about the nature of what you carry and the season you carry it in. Inside the formation, the things the chosen one holds are hidden from everyone else. In normal conversation, you can't hear them, they are inside. And because they're inside you, the people you love and care about most often can't see them. I want to think about those two words for a moment before I say what I really want to say, because those two words mean something specific that the chosen one who has been in a long season of formation, but who knows, needs to hear. Not just as a spiritual phrase, but as a real fact about how their experience is structured. In the specific sense that God knows exactly what you've been holding, how long you've been holding it, how much it's cost you when it was hardest to hold on, and how much the weight of carrying something no one else can see has taken from you. You carry what? Not in the sense that God knows everything. Over the course of the formation season, it's not passive to know that. It is not the knowledge of someone looking at your situation from afar and getting a general idea of what is going on. It is the lively, involved, and fully present knowing of the one who was with you every day of the season. Who was there when the weight was the heaviest in the morning, when your faith was weak in the evening, and when you had to make the choice inside yourself one more time to keep carrying what God put in you. He was there. It was clear to him. What he saw also confirmed something. I want to talk to you about right away. That's all he saw. The chosen one. Not the struggle, the difficulty, or the length of the season. He saw you. He saw you, what you carry, how you carry it, and who you are while you carry it. And what he saw was the person he called. Let me talk about the unique kind of invisibility that the chosen one goes through during the formation season, because I believe it is one of the most understudied parts of the chosen one. Got ready for and is now setting up for the reason he called them. Journey. When you carry something invisible, you have a certain kind of inner experience. It's not just that no one knows. Dealing with a world where the most important part of your private life is also the part that other people can't see is something you do every day. God sees the whole current, not just the top layer. He sees everything that is moving in you below the surface. When you see this, you can see the person who put the current in you, planned it for a reason, knows exactly what it is, where it's going, and what it's doing to you is. It flows and is actively involved with it in ways that you can't always see from the, and that seeing isn't honest. Inside, there is something about the chosen one that most people will never know. I want to talk about it during the formation season because I believe giving it a name is a way to honor it. And the chosen one whose inner experience has been mostly hidden from the rest of the world should be named and praised before this message ends. The discipline needed to keep carrying the call during times when it didn't produce anything noticeable is something that most people will never know. That kind of faithfulness that shows up, not in dramatic moments, but in everyday ones when the chosen one keeps holding on to what they know on the inside, even though the outside world doesn't support. The choice that you make every day to believe in something that has no proof from outside sources. A lot of people will never know what it's like to carry something alone. Not the loneliness of being alone all the time, Being alone and knowing that no one else in the room knows or feels what you do is very lonely. The loneliness of being able to sit across from someone you love but not be able to fully describe the weight, nature, and shape of what you are holding. We're not short on words. We're just not able to see the thing well enough yet to give it words. That's something that most people will never know. The things that weren't done because duty called for a different path. The years that was spent on something that didn't seem to pay off yet. The steady weight of carrying something over a timeline that went longer than you thought it would. The exact emotional toll of holding on when holding on was the hardest thing you could do. A lot of people will never know what kind of faith the chosen one has during the formation season. That's because the faith that is talked about in formation season is different from the faith that is sung about in communities or celebrated in testimony services. People who don't believe in that faith. The kind of faith that exists when the chosen one decides one more time that what God put inside them is real, and they are. It is a faith that is quieter, tougher, and deeper. Going to hold on to it. That faith is known by God. He was there for every single second of it. And the fact that no one else saw it doesn't make it less important to him. One of the most valuable things in the Sekekra record is the faith that the chosen one practices alone during the normal times of the formation season. And God has seen everything, including you. A lot of people won't know what you carry. There is something else I want to say about that. It's not because you don't communicate well or because the people in your life are bad. Most people will never know, it's just how the formation season works. During the formation, the call stays inside because the outside isn't ready to receive it yet. The thing that is carried in the interior during the formation season is being shaped for a certain expression on the outside, which needs to be carried in the interior, and the fact that you can't be seen is part of what keeps the shaping. The fact that it is hidden is not a flaw, it's part of the design. Accurate. So, you weren't seeing anything over the formation season. It didn't mean that what you carry isn't real or important. It was how the season was meant to be so that the interior could finish forming. The call was kept inside. And God, who made that secret, knows exactly what was inside it. He saw every day that was hidden. He praised every act of faithfulness that he didn't see. This is all the first time that he is making it public since the arrival season has begun. God knows you're the one. Please know that every seed you plant in this mission grows into a torch that shines in someone else's darkness. Whether by buying a coffee, making a donation, or becoming a member of our community does not go to a channel. Your actions are supporting a divine mission to save lost souls. But more than your support, we want your presence. When you head to our community through the link in the description or the pinned comment, you aren't just visiting a site. This is a sanctuary where you can post your prayer requests, lift up the burdens of others, and engage in daily discussions with a family that speaks the language of. You are entering a community of like-minded believers. Faith. Whether you are joining one of our membership tiers for deeper study, sowing a seed of faith, or simply joining our daily morning prayers, you are helping us build a global altar of worship. Heaven moves through willing voices, but it grows through a community that stands together. Each gift you give acts as living water for those in our community seeking healing and hope. Give and it will be given to you is the promise that sustains our shared mission. I invite you now to step out of the shadows and into this circle of prayer. Come with purpose, join the conversation and plant your seed in fertile ground. Let's open the heavens together. Release your seed today. Join our community and see what God brings back into your life. Before we move on to the next part of this message, I want to read that statement out loud. It's not that thinks you might be the one or that you look like a good leader. He knows everything about the person who made the call, put it in you, shaped you during the formation season, and has been with you every day of the carrying. He knows that you are the one who is ready for what's about to happen. Without a doubt, he knows it. And the ground the chosen one stands on is something God knows for sure. Let us know in the comments if this works for you. Let me know if what I said about the invisible carrying sounds like something you know on the inside. I want the chosen one to fully understand something about the formation season. So, let me go into it in more detail. There is a part of it that most people will never know that I haven't named yet. And it has to do with the chosen one's unique inner life during the long formation. During the formation season, the chosen one lives in two worlds. At the same time, there is the outside reality of where they are right now. What people can see, the job, the relationships, the daily life, and the outside situation. There's also the truth of what they carry inside, like the call, the vision, or the knowing of exactly what they were made for. The chosen one who lives in both worlds at the same time and navigates the outside world while carrying the inner knowing creates a certain kind of inner richness. These two facts don't always match up. That those around them can't see. During the formation season, the chosen one's inner life does not get worse. In fact, it is one of the most active, complex, and rich inner experiences a person can have. Being called on for a long time, working hard to keep your faith even when other people don't confirm it. Negotiating inside yourself every day between knowing and not knowing. And the special kind of attention that comes from watching for God in everyday situations because you know He is there and moving. Because of all of this, the inner life is very deep. That wealth will never be known by most people. They won't be able to see it because it doesn't show itself during the formation season. Your formation season was building this up in you. It's inside you, but it's real. Not only will you show strength and conviction, but the assignment that is opening will also draw on and express through you a certain quality of inner depth. Also, I want to talk to the people who tried to figure out what you were carrying during the formation season. They asked the right questions, listened carefully, and sought to understand. A lot of them only got parts of it. In this case, it's not because you purposely kept it from them, but because what you carry is not fully articulated at the interior stage. The arrival season gives you the chance to show the outside world the fullest of what you carry. It was a real thing that people who tried to see leaned in, listened and respected what they could see of what you were carrying. And they were put in your life by God at the right time for you to grow. People who honored a part of something during the formation season will be able to see that part more clearly during their arrivals. Why the honor they gave to the invisible version will be confirmed by the visible version that the arrival season makes possible. This is because I think that when the chosen one hears a statement like this, they take it in a general way as a spiritual affirmation without fully. Now I want to talk about what God knows when He says you are the one. Understanding what it really means. God doesn't talk about your potential. When He says, I know you are the one, He's not talking about what you could become if you had the right chances or some other good luck. Now the person who went through the formation season, the person who listened to the voice that couldn't be heard during the long months and years of carrying in, the person who made decisions of faithfulness in everyday life that no one. He's talking about the person you are. Saul. God knows you to be that version right now. God doesn't want you to be far away from who you are because the arrival of outside evidence does not make you the one. He wants you to fully accept who you are right now before the outside evidence shows up. It shows what God has known since the beginning of the formation season. You were the one before the group formed. You are the one in the lineup. When the coming season starts, you will be the one there. Take in your identity now, not as a show or a way to brag about how special you are, but as the simple factual acceptance of what God put in you when He chose you and what the formation season made you. The outside evidence does not make up the identity. It proves what was already true into when it shaped you. God chose you to be the one for what is now opening. Being that way is not a goal. In this present moment, God wants you to stand in it as if it were true, not like something that might happen in the future. Before I name it, let me talk about what the formation did to the chosen one in particular. I don't want to use a general term. To be clear, the formation season is not a normal test that makes a normal person more likable. For a certain job, it takes a certain kind of construction process to make someone with certain qualities. And what the formation did to you is different from what it did to someone else. It has a specific that is yours, and it is exactly what the new job opening for you calls for. What did the group build? It gave them a certain kind of settled knowing. The chosen one who carried something invisible for a long time while the world kept putting pressure on them, even though they couldn't see. It has an inner knowing that can't be made by a shorter or easier experience. One of the most important qualities that the assignment that is opening needs is that quality of settled, unshakable inner knowledge that doesn't need an audience or they are sure of what they know and don't need outside confirmation to stay sure. Proof to stay strong. It made a certain kind of resilience, not the kind that comes from performance or the desire to look strong in tough situations. This kind of resilience comes from training yourself snorts to keep carrying what God gave you even when it's hard. It is not present in someone who has not been through the formation and the job. Opening requires that skill because it will put real life demands on the person. That ability is unique to the chosen one who has been carrying for the whole formation season. Who takes it on? Not just performance-based resilience. It helped people develop a certain kind of compassion. That person who has been through the formation season and knows what it's like to carry something that no one else can see and feel lonely while doing. It has a special kind of compassion for others who carry invisible things that you can't get from not having carried one yourself. The chosen person will work with people who have things that no one else can see because of their new assignment. That person needs to have the compassion that was built into the chosen one during the formation season. It made me wiser in a certain way. They became very wise about the nature of the journey of the chosen one, the structure of formation seasons, and how God works when things are quiet, hidden. The chosen ones who carried something through the formation season not only made it through, but they also learned from it. And take a long time. That kind of wisdom isn't based on ideas. It comes from experience. And the task that is being given requires the kind of wisdom that has been gained in this way. Now let me talk about one more thing that God sees when He looks at the chosen one, because I want to say something that the chosen one sometimes finds hard to accept. Being faithful to God is very important to Him. The chosen one sometimes has a hard time accepting the idea that God values their everyday faithfulness, the choices they make every day to keep going during the not because it's the right thing to do or because it's what someone who says they believe is supposed to do, but because it's something he really values and respects. Formation season. Even though there isn't any dramatic proof or clear reward, being faithful in everyday life can feel like the norm in line with what you should do. It's not just the main point during the formation season. God gives extra praise to the kind of faithfulness that lasts through the long, boring days when nothing exciting happens, and the chosen one just keeps going. It is one of the most important things the chosen one gives. Because they keep going. He does not be lazy about it. He doesn't see it as something he has to do. He takes it as an offering and shows respect to the chosen one who made it. Everything about the formation season, every day that can't be seen, every choice that can't be seen, and every private moment of faithfulness is fully seen, and most people will never know what you're carrying, but God does because He knows you. Honored. I want to talk about a certain part of who God says you are when He knows you are the one. Because what the chosen one does, makes, or accomplishes is not the only thing that makes them who they are. It's about who they are when they carry. You can't just look at what the chosen one carried during the formation season to know who they are. What makes them unique is who they were when they carried it. And God can see that very clearly. It was the chosen one who held the call with honor when no one else could. The chosen one who stayed true to their beliefs without needing approval from others. The one who was chosen and who faithfully served in the present while holding the calling for the future that had not yet come true. The person who was chosen and gave freely from what they had while the fullness of what they were called to was still being formed. That person, the one who did all of those things during the formation season without anyone watching or getting anything in return, is the one God says is the one. Also, the declaration isn't just about what you'll do during the coming season. I want to talk to the chosen one who has heard this declaration before and who heard it more easily when things were exciting than when they were calm during. It's about what kind of person you've been the whole time, the whole trip, even the parts that most people will never hear about. The formation season. The chosen one who felt the full weight of being the one during a powerful worship experience or at the end of a powerful message but found it hard to hold on to. That promise when they got back to their normal day. That's not a sign of weakness. The experience of making a declaration wants to be long-lasting instead of short-lived. The statement God makes over the chosen one is not meant to give them a brief sense of who they are. It's meant to be the ground that the chosen one always stands on. And the work of moving from temporary reception to foundational standing is exactly the work that the normal days of the formation season make possible. The most important days of the formation season are the ones when nothing exciting happens and the chosen one just keeps doing what God gave them to do. These are the days when the declaration becomes deeply rooted. Those days, the declaration isn't driven by the energy of a moment. It's driven by the sure, unwavering knowledge that this is true. God knows you are the one. Not just in the big moments, but in all the little ones too. There is a part of what I've been talking about that I want to connect to something right now. In what I've been saying, I've talked about what God sees and what most people will never know. I also want to add something that has to do with a certain part of what the formation season has done for the chosen one. The formation season is more than just a spiritual time. When someone carries something invisible for a long time, like the weight of a call, without external confirmation for months or years, or when they keep their faith in the face of pressure from a world that can't see what they see, their cognitive thought plays a part, and I want to be careful what I say about it, because the chosen one often doesn't fully understand this part of their experience during the season. Experience changes in a certain way. Keeping something unresolved for a long time puts a steady low-level strain on the mind, making it feel heavy and narrow. This is something that the chosen person often feels during the formation season. Their mind isn't quite working at the level they know it can. The creative clarity that used to be easier to get is now only sometimes available. To get to the level of insight that used to come easily, you have to work harder. It gets harder to think of new ideas with the specific ease that characterized earlier seasons. Even though they don't always understand that it has a physiological cause. Something exact was found about this in 1981 in physiology research that won the and the chosen one thinks this is because of the general weight of the season. Nobel Prize. Roger Sperry was a scientist who spent years studying how the two sides of the brain talk to each other. They talk to each other in a certain way that makes thinking, making, perceiving, and receiving very different from what most adults experience in their everyday. He discovered that when the brain is working at its best, both hemispheres work together as a single unit. Mental life. It is said that 98% of kids test at the genius level in this combined skill. By adulthood, less than 2% still regularly use it. The weight of the formation season that lasts for a long time makes this worse. This study found that the pattern of cross-hemisphere integration is thrown off by the low-level unresolved pressure of carrying something that can't be seen. And the result is the specific mental experience that the chosen one in the formation season knows when I describe it. The narrowing, the heaviness, and the fluctuating clarity that should be available more often. I'd like to talk about why this is important. Right now, the thing I'm about to talk about isn't just a way to think. It's also a tool that the chosen one who is moving from the formation season to the next one needs in order to fully receive the arrival. You carry what? God knows you're the one. God also knows that the formation season left the chosen one with certain mental scars that they don't need to carry into the arrival season. The clarity that was lost can be brought back. It's being fixed up that makes the arrival season possible in all its glory. A woman from outside of Atlanta got in touch after seeing a message like this one. She talked about what she called 7 years of carrying something she couldn't explain. She also accurately described the mental side of those 7 years, including how heavy her creativity was, how her thoughts would come and go, and how she felt like she wasn't working at the level she was. A calling that was real and clear to her on the inside, but hadn't shown up on the outside. Capable of She said she started doing something for 8 minutes a day with her eyes closed and headphones on. Over the next 2 weeks, she said there was a slow but clear restoration of something. Not a new quality that had been there, but the original quality before the formation season. There was clarity that built up its weight. In what she wrote, she used the word restored 3 times. Not better, but restored. Something similar was said by a man from Ohio. He said that in the last few years of his formation season, praying to God had become harder for him than it had been at the start of his journey. He could still talk, but it wasn't as easy as it used to be. There was less room in the channel. He said that the ease of use came back after 30 days of using the same tool. He said it was like a pressure that had been building up for years was let go. What they both used was something that was made by a group of people led by Dr. Daniel Barron, a New York City neurosurgeon. For years, he studied the exact way that sustained cognitive load breaks down the cross hemisphere integration that was the subject of the Nobel Prize study and how it can be fixed. That he made is not a brainwave product, a frequency therapy product, or a meditation app. These differences are important. It's neural sync technology, which is an audio delivery system that goes straight for the pattern of integration. The name for it is the Genius Switch. Every day for 8 minutes with headphones on and eyes closed. What comes back isn't fake clarity. Minds that were always to work at a higher level of integration than the formation season allowed them to can now do so. Not everyone should have the Genius Switch. This is for the chosen one who knows the mental experience I described, who has felt the narrowing, the heaviness, and the sporadic quality of their clearest thinking. This is for the person who is about to do what God has planned and wants to do it with all of their abilities. At the level needed for the job. Dove Barron cut the price by a lot from the level of a professional consultation. It cost $500 for an anchor. The price that is shown is $49. It costs though $39 on the page today for the chosen one who finds this message. A morning clarity protocol, an audio guide for guided visualization, a breakthrough journal framework, a recovery sleep sequence, and a money-back guarantee. There are 4 free bonuses. That doesn't matter what. There are products that use similar words like cognitive optimization tools, neural enhancement tools, and brainwave technology. That's not what the Genius Switch is. The idea is based on Nobel Prize-winning research on cross-hemisphere integration and is used with a delivery system. The Dr. Barron created just for this purpose. If your spirit says it's true, if that cognitive dimension I talked about, the heaviness, the narrowing, and the sporadic nature of your clearest thinking sounds like something you felt during formation season, please let me know in the link is in the description and the pinned comment. Comments. This message has information that most people will never know. So, let me explain why it makes sense. Because the chosen one who is about to move into what God has planned should be able to do it at full capacity. Not just mentally ready, but also spiritually ready. The arrival season will put certain demands on the chosen one who walks into it in terms of their creativity, clarity, ability to receive, and the way they think. God knows you are the one, and He wants you to be ready in every way to enter what is opening. This is something that most people will never know about you. They won't know how much the formation season hurts their minds. The people around you won't know the exact weight that the invisible carried on your mind, but God does. He put this message in your path because he wants you to be able to access what addresses it. That's the kind of God who knows you are the only one and is fully involved in every part of your readiness for what he planned. I want to talk about one more aspect of what I want to say about the formation season's effect on the mind. Before ending this message, I talked about the heaviness, the narrowing, and the sporadic clarity. And I want to talk about what happens to those things in the arrival season. It's not the mental weight of the formation season changes with the seasons, and the arrival season naturally starts to deal with it. When the nature of what the chosen one is carrying changes, the narrowing was caused by long-lasting unresolved pressure which is now being resolved. The answer to the question that was kept open is starting to come through. If the chosen one comes into the arrival season with their cognitive abilities fully restored, they can not only think more clearly, but they can also receive the specific insights, connections, and creative perceptions that the new, and as it does, the pattern of disruption that caused the cognitive heaviness starts to return. Assignment will need. The chosen one will have to be clear in certain ways during the arrival season. What choices they have to make, what connections they have to see, and how creative they have to be for the assignment, the cement. All of this is helped by the genius switch's ability to restore brain function. God knows what you're going through, and he knows that you need this, not just the spiritual part of the restoration, but also the mental part. He put this information in this message because he is aware of all the ways the chosen one is getting ready for what's to come. As this awakening grows inside you, know that helping with this mission is not a joke. It is a sign from God. You can support this work through the link in the description or the pinned comment, whether by buying a coffee, making a donation, or becoming a member of our Koi community. By doing so, you become part of Jesse's plan to save souls who are still stuck in fog. Every seed turns into light that fights against darkness. If you water others, you will be watered yourself. Jesus says this is not history. It is a living promise about your future. Come into this moment with faith and a plan. What God has already planned for your life can be unlocked through your giving. You have been chosen, and now we are in the holy place. This is the part of the message where everything I've worked on comes together in a single moment of letting go and declaring. It's time for me to name what I'm thankful for with the same care I used to name everything else. I'm glad you read this whole message. I'm glad the message got to you. That person was chosen to carry something that most people will never know. They found a message that named it, and they stayed to receive what the naming was meant to free. I'm thankful for the fall season. Not because the difficulty was good in and of itself, but because it led to something good. The version of you that started the journey is not the same as the version that is here now. Having carried the invisible thing all the way through the formation that is more fully developed, more stable and better equipped for the task that is now opening. There was no punishment in the formation. It was building work. There was also the building of the person God knew you would become when he put the call through to you. You're still alive. You're here. And most people will never know what it took for you to be where you are now. Having carried what you carried through the season you carried it through. Who knows? I want to honor it before we start the letting go. I now let you go. I free you from the weight of not being seen. From this specific weight of carrying something real and important during a time when the people around you couldn't see it. That not being seen wasn't a sign that what you carry isn't real. It's how the formation season is meant to be before they can be shown on the outside. The most important things are carried inside. and I free you from the tightness inside that comes from not being seen. What was hidden is about to show itself slowly, like how God shows the chosen one. When the seasons change, not all at once. I free you from all the times during the formation season when you felt like you were the only one in the room carrying what you were carrying. It was definitely lonely, and it took a lot of discipline to keep going without the comfort of fully knowing the people around you. I am taking that weight off of you now. God knows everything about you without any conditions. And that knowledge is enough for the chosen one who is about to enter what is becoming available. Someone asked you about the call you carry, and you gave them an incomplete answer. I forgive you. The times when you tried to describe something that wasn't quite ready, but the words you used were too small to do it justice. They showed that the things you carry were being kept in the interior, which is what the interior is meant to do in order to bring out their fullest expression on. Those times when I didn't say what I wanted to say clearly weren't articulation problems. The outside, the expression that's coming will be just right. It will be the fully formed version of what was said in those moments, but wasn't finished. You don't have to explain to anyone why the formation season lasts so long. To say why it took so long to defend the timeline against questions from people who compare it to a different timeline they think is better. There is no need to explain the timeline of the formation season. God watched over it for a certain length of time and for a certain reason that made you do what you needed to do. The group did not move slowly, it went into detail. Also, the level of detail is exactly what the opening's scope calls for. Yet, the fact that the formation season has been hard to see has been a kind of quiet grief snorts in the fact that the most important thing going on in your life, you don't have to carry the weight of a private grief that most people will never know, was something that no one else could see. I now free you from that sadness. What happened in the interior during the formation season will slowly become clear during the arrival season. People who couldn't see it before will now. Not because they need to see it to believe it, but because it was always meant to be used for expression. And now is the time to do so. I free you from the mental weight that the formation season put on your thoughts. The heaviness, the narrowing, and the sporadic clarity that you can experience. You are no longer required to have that trait permanently. Seasonal changes cause it. The time of year is changing, and with the tools God has put in your path, you won't be able to get your full cognitive abilities back anytime soon. It is a reality that is available right now. I now declare that God knows you not as a possible future, but as a real person right now. The person who spent the whole formation season getting ready, shaped, formed, refined, and equipped for the specific job that is now opening up. There is no way for God to say you were the one tentatively. He says it with the confidence of someone who made the call, oversaw the formation, and knows for sure what the formation led to. You are the one. End of sentence. Nothing to qualify, not a problem. Do not wait for outside proof to confirm what God already said. Most people will never fully see or understand what you carry. And that's not a lack, it's how the things you carry work. The chosen one doesn't have a normal bag with them. They carry something specific, important, and shaped for a certain expression that most people in the world don't have the frame to receive. Yet, the frame will form around it when it comes out, because the thing you carry makes its own way to be received. You are ready for this. For what is coming up for the specific assignment that needed the formation you went through. The formation did not come close to getting you ready. It was the end of the preparation. What you have now, the original call plus the person the formation made, is exactly what the assignment calls for. Enter it. Know that God knows you are the one before you go at it. That the person He knows you to be is the one He got ready for this moment. That the shape wasn't too long. That was just the right length, and what it made is perfect for what comes next. That's how it is. Yes, type, I'm the one who signed up. Not with pride, but in line with what God said about you in this message. Feel free to press the like. Honor what God went through by being the chosen one who found something real here. Sign up to get the next word sent straight to you. The link can be found in both the description and the comment that was pinned. If what I said about how the formation season affects your mind made sense, the genius switch is there, or 39 minutes a day. The formation season got shorter and the clarity got better. There is a link for the chosen one who wants to walk into what is opening up at full capacity. God knows you're the one. God knows what you carry, but most people will never know. And what God knows is the only thing that controls the chosen one's path. You are the one, use it to walk in. Someone in this message is right at the point where fully believing this declaration feels like the last thing they are allowed to do. The weight of what was hidden has made them habitually not fully believe the declaration. I want to say this straight to that person: if you wait a little longer, you won't get the permission. This message is telling you to okay something. God made sure you got this message. He knows you're the one. Please accept the declaration. It's where you stand. Tell someone about this. God sees what they carry and knows they are the one today who is in the formation season and needs to hear that. They are known to you. Send this to them. It will get to them on time. I also want to talk about what it means for the chosen one to walk into the next season fully known. Because going from the formation season to the arrival season fully known by God is different from going forward in any other situation. When the arrival season comes around, the chosen one knows they are not going into the unknown with a God who is far away, hoping everything goes well. They are stepping into something that God planned, designed, and is currently involved in. He doesn't pay attention to what comes next. He is the builder and the chosen one who knows that God knows them, and that the same God who knows them also designed what is opening. He walks into the arrival season with confidence that doesn't come from within. It is based on God. That level of confidence is not haughtiness. It is in line when someone is aligned with what God designed and knows that God knows them fully and declared them to be the one. They are in a different mental state than when someone is hoping they are good enough for what is in front of them. They don't have any hopes. They are aware during the arrival season. They are moving with the same steady, unwavering faith that made them faithful during the formation season. Walk in that knowing, not as a show of confidence, but as a simple statement of what you know to be true. As the door opens, God knows that you are the one He chose, the one He'd equipped, and the one He is walking with. And the arrival season isn't the time to show that you're the one. It's where the person God always knew you to be walks in and does all that being that person makes possible. One last thing about something most people will never know. During the formation season, they won't know. But during the arrival season, when what you carry comes out, you will see something that you couldn't see before. The exact type of quality that the formation made. How deeply you know something for sure. The toughness that doesn't do its job on its own. These things will be clear, and the people who meet them will meet something with a quality, a depth, and a groundedness that they can't fully explain based on what The kindness that grew out of carrying unnoticed in the expression of the assignment. They can see. The formation season is something they can't explain. The years of carrying without being seen, the faithfulness that is hidden. What God was building in you, the whole time the formation was going on. That person will see the phrase but not the root. You will know the root though. God knows where the problem comes from. That knowing which you and God share is what the chosen one stands on as they step into the full expression of everything that the formation made them ready for. Before we get to the end of this powerful story, let's reflect on this deep truth. You did not find this message by accident. You are being invited into a protected, faith-filled community at the link in the description and pinned comment place where divine abundance is not just a hope, but this is a divine appointment meant specifically for you. Promise built on the Word. By heading to the site right now, you are unlocking access to a sacred community of like-minded believers. When you join our membership tiers, you gain immediate entry to powerful content, daily devotions, and divine insights that are hidden from the world. This is your chance to enter a sanctuary where you will receive spiritual guidance, unwavering support on our prayer wall, and speedy progress toward your destiny. Do not let this moment of destiny pass you by. Your breakthrough is waiting. Join our inner circle through the exclusive link in the description. This is how you guarantee you never miss the personalized messages and spiritual warfare tools meant to elevate your life. If you feel called to deepen your connection, the link is waiting for you in both the pinned comment and the description. For those who want to amplify this work and carry the light home, you can find our guided ebooks and Bibles in the pinned comment. Whether you join as a member or sow a seed through our resources, your presence and energy change the world. Take the step. Your abundance awaits. You are about to enter your divine future. But remember, this breakthrough is not for you alone. Archangel Michael is inviting you to visit community through the link in the description or the pinned comment, whether by buying a coffee, making a donation, or your testimony is the bridge someone else will use to reach their own miracle. Becoming a member of our community does not go to a channel. Your actions are supporting a divine mission to save lost souls. By joining our like-minded community, you are no longer praying in isolation. You are adding your voice to a global sanctuary where we discuss the Word daily and stand in the gap for one another. This is not poetry when Jesus says give and heaven will open over you on this platform. Every seed you plant turns into oil for your destiny, fire for your calling, and a hedge of safety for your family. Now is your time. Step into our community prayer wall. Share your heart, and as you give, watch God multiply what you let go of. Let's finish this journey together. Visit our community now.